Alexis Bellino roasted over RHOC firing, now who's being shown the door. Alexis Bellino is nothing if not brave, because she just decided to open up the comment section on her social media page. The Real Housewives of Orange County star tried that earlier in the season and it quickly went left with people telling her, "Turn the comments off, we still don't like you." Now she's choosing to do it again after announcing her exit from the show. Not surprisingly, the blonde beauty is getting roasted by viewers, who are throwing her previous words back in her face. During her first altercation with Shannon in the season 18 premiere, Alexis exclaimed, "There's the door, Shannon beat her." Now RHOC fans are asking, who's being shown the door? Alexis had a tumultuous season and later lashed out at the show for her villainous portrayal. There was no resolution between her and the other women at the reunion, leaving her nowhere else to go but out the door. Alexis Bellino allows comments on her post after her RHOC firing. The RHOC star posted a message on Instagram after telling Carlos King she was not asked to return for season 19. Alexis later shared a photo with her fiancé John Jansen and noted in her caption that when one door closes, another opens. She also revealed that her comment section is open again and urged people to be nice. "Comments are on now. Please be respectful of my kids reading your hate. #BeKind," she wrote. However, I'm guessing people didn't read that far because they are not being kind in the comments. RHOC viewers roast Alexis on social media. RHOC fans are reminding Alexis that she wasn't kind to Shannon's kids, despite asking them to keep her kids in mind before writing any hateful comments. "Did you consider Shannon's kids when you got in between a feud that had absolutely nothing to do with you?" questioned a commenter. By Felicia. "However, if you don't want you kids to read negative comments, then you probably should not post," said someone else. One Instagram user exclaimed, "Saya, hope you learnt your lessons, doubt it though." Someone told Alexis, "Don't let the beater hit you on the way out." Another added, "Now who's being shown the door? It's not at Shannon beater." While Alexis is gone, some of the fan favorites from last season have already received their contracts. Katie Ganella, Shannon beater, and Jennifer Pedranti recently teased their return. Joanna Kirschenheiter and Emily Simpson's Instagram photo showing them playing around with 2 oranges might be a dead giveaway that they're also coming back. Are you happy to see Alexis go, or do you want her back? The Bravo universe is no stranger to drama, shade, and well-timed clapbacks. But when former Real Housewives of Orange County star Alexis Bellino became the target of a public roasting about her abrupt departure from the show years ago, the internet collectively grabbed its popcorn. The resurfacing of her firing brought forth a tidal wave of opinions, and a singular, biting question echoed louder than the rest. Now who's being shown the door? The origin of the roast. It all started innocently enough when Alexis appeared on a popular Housewives-themed podcast. While discussing her time on RHOC, Alexis reminisced about the good, the bad, and the downright ugly moments. She highlighted her growth since her time on the show, framing her exit as a decision rooted in self-care. But as any devoted Bravo fan knows, the narrative of a housewife choosing to leave often walks hand in hand with the network's not-so-subtle nudge to pack her bags. During the podcast, Alexis was asked how she felt about cast shakeups and whether she'd consider returning. Her response, dripping with positivity and subtle shade, set the internet ablaze. "I've heard they're struggling to keep it entertaining," she quipped. "Maybe they need a little Jesus Jugs energy to save the ratings." While her comment seemed lighthearted, it reopened old wounds for viewers who remembered her contentious departure. Enter social media, the digital battlefield where Housewives lore is both celebrated and scrutinized. Fans and former co-stars couldn't resist chiming in. The Bravo community reacts. The response to Alexis's interview was swift and merciless. Tamra Judge, never one to shy away from a feud, took to Instagram stories with a cryptic yet cutting post. "Some people forget why they were let go in the first place," she wrote, pairing the caption with a laughing emoji and a glass of champagne. Though she didn't mention Alexis by name, the Bravo detectives needed mere seconds to connect the dots. Twitter erupted with memes and GIFs, many referencing Alexis's infamous clashes with her former castmates. One particularly savage tweet read, Alexis calling RHOC boring without her is like a fired barista saying Starbucks went downhill after they left. Another chimed in with, "Remember when Alexis couldn't handle Heather Dubrow calling her pretentious? Now she's out here pretending she was the backbone of RHOC. Bless her heart." Behind the scenes, why Alexis was really fired. To understand why Alexis' firing remains a hot topic, one must revisit the turbulent seasons she was on the show. Dubbed Jesus Jugs by Tamra Judge, a nickname that quickly became both infamous and iconic, Alexis often found herself at odds with her co-stars. Her deeply religious persona clashed with the group's penchant for champagne-fueled debauchery. Add to that her lavish yet seemingly shallow lifestyle, and Alexis became an easy target. Heather Dubrow, in particular, frequently criticized Alexis for her perceived phoniness. Their heated exchanges, like the infamous Costa Rica argument where Heather accused Alexis of constantly bragging about her wealth, cemented Alex's reputation as a polarizing figure. Behind the scenes, producers allegedly grew frustrated with Alex's reluctance to fully engage in the show's drama. When ratings dipped and fresher faces like Shannon Beater entered the mix, Alexis was quietly shown the door. Yet Alexis has always maintained that leaving RHOC was her choice. "I wanted to focus on my family and my faith," she said in a 2014 interview. Still, skeptics argue that her departure had more to do with her inability to evolve with the show's shifting dynamics. The roast intensifies. As the online discourse grew, former castmates Gretchen Rossi and Lydia McLaughlin weighed in. Gretchen, who shared a close bond with Alexis during their time on RHOC, posted a supportive message. "Love you, Lex. Don't let the haters get you down. You've always stayed true to yourself," she wrote on Instagram. Lydia, however, took a more neutral approach. In an interview with the Bravo fan account, she said, "I think Alexis has a lot of great qualities, but the Housewives world is brutal. You need thick skin, and sometimes the internet makes it even harder." Despite the occasional defense, the roasting continued. A viral TikTok dissected Alexis's most cringe moments on the show, from her husband Jim's controlling behavior to her on-air claim that her family owned a private jet, which was later revealed to be a timeshare. The video ended with the caption, "Alexis, honey, Bravo didn't fire you, they freed you." Alexis claps back. True to form, Alexis wasn't about to let the narrative spiral out of her control. In a lengthy Instagram post, she addressed the backlash head-on. "It's funny how people love to tear others down years after the fact," she wrote. "Yes, I was on RHOC. Yes, I've grown since then. But let's be clear. I'm proud of my time on the show. It brought me opportunities and lessons that I wouldn't trade for anything." She ended the post with a not-so-subtle jab at her detractors. "As for those throwing shade, maybe focus on your own journey instead of revisiting mine. Jesus Jugs has moved on." The Bravo legacy. The saga of Alexis Bellino's firing, and her subsequent roasting, highlights the enduring allure of Housewives drama. Even years after leaving the show, Alexis remains a topic of conversation, proving that the Bravo universe rarely forgets its alumnae. For Alexis, the experience serves as a reminder of the double-edged sword that is reality TV fame. While she may never fully escape the shadow of her RHOC persona, she's managed to carve out a post-Bravo life that aligns with her values. Whether the internet lets her move on, however, is another story entirely. And as for the question, now who's being shown the door? Well, Alexis might argue that she walked out of it with her head held high, but in the Bravo world, the truth often depends on who's holding the confessional microphone.